Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery. Very excited to be putting together another video for you here tonight. Very excited to be working with Brian, Tighe, and friends. Was very happy to get the opportunity to meet with them at the USN show. I've been a fan of Brian Tighe custom knives for quite a while. I own a Tiebreaker, Tie Fighter, both the custom versions, and have been a very big fan of Brian Tighe's work for quite a while. His knives were one of the first customs that I owned. And when I was at the show, unfortunately I didn't get the opportunity to pick up the knife that I was looking for, but in speaking with Brian and Dave over there, was able to pick up another line of titanium mid-tech knives to be working on. Really excited about this. They are fantastic people. They make some fantastic product, and as you can see, they've really given us quite a canvas to work with. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is the Brian Tighe and Friends Tiebreaker Integral. These things are pretty cool. As you can tell by looking at them, if you're used to seeing Brian Tighe knives, definitely modeled off of the Brian Tighe Tiebreaker. The Integral has the integral handle, so it is all one piece of titanium. The Brian Tighe Tiebreaker is very fluted, very slimline. The blade's a little bit thinner. These are definitely a bigger and beefier knife. Personally, for me, that is a very good thing because I like a heavier knife. The Tiebreaker has always been one of my favorites with all the fluting and everything that they do, but it's very lightweight in comparison to their new integrals. So very happy to be working with these, and let's go ahead and jump right in and we'll hit these one at a time. I'm going to go ahead and get the one that is not done taken care of first. Well, actually, I tell you what, I'll throw two of these out here and I'll go through the specs on these real quick. So, overall length on the spear point version is a 9.125 inches. Blade length is 4 inches. The modified harpoon, which is the other blade, appears to be maybe just a hair shorter, maybe 1/8 of an inch shorter, so slightly shorter blade, but both very nice grinds. On the modified harpoon, you've got that compound grind. You are a hollow grind on both grinds. Hollow grind on the spear point as well. Handle, of course, is titanium. He's done some pretty cool things with the pocket clip, which I will show you in a couple minutes. Handle length on it is 5.125. It is the same handle for both knives. Handle thickness is at 0.6 inches, so it's a thick piece of titanium. Blade thickness is at 0.2, which is also a pretty good thick blade. So definitely built for some heavy use. Very nicely constructed. Really happy with the way these things have turned out. Overall weight on these is 6.64 ounces. So now that we kind of have the specs out of the way, as you can see, there are differences. You've got a flipper, and yep, no flipper there. So yes, we do have an automatic. So Brian Tighe is big on the button lock system. Anybody that's owned a Brian Tighe has seen this. Very nice product. The switch blade, or the automatic, has a very good spring to it. It flips with authority. As you can see, it's got plenty of power behind it, locks into place nicely, and that button lock is just perfect for it. So, very cool deal. Got your Tighe and Friends, Brian Tighe and Friends logo. Thumb stud, which of course is your blade stop on this particular version because it is not a flipper. It is just your automatic. And man, look at that slab of titanium. They have done such a nice job milling everything through here. Really looks sharp. I love how they've done the lanyard hole. As anybody that's watched my video knows, I'm a big fan of lanyards. I throw them on just about everything. That is one cool looking lanyard hole. I really like the way he's designed this. And just all one piece of flowing titanium. Beautiful. That pocket clip is a cool deal too. Notice, no screws. But of course you can't have a screw on the inside either because it's an integral. So you wouldn't be able to get to it. A very cool deal. He's found a way to get that screw mounted in there just using that little tiny hole. I'm not really going to go into a whole lot of detail on how that's done, just because I'm not sure if he's released that information, so I'm just going to kind of leave that be and just let you look at that and realize that there's a lot of ingenuity that has gone into the design of this knife. Pocket clip is flowing with the fluting just like the handle. They do the pocket clip and the pivot cup in titanium, in a different color titanium. So very cool looking knives. Again, that's the auto. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one, just because of course this one's not anodized yet. This one has already been purchased by a customer. Just waiting to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that. But as you can see here, we've got quite a bit that we can do with these. So I'm going to jump into the very first one I anodized. These come with a light sandblast finish. So what I did with this one was I went a purple into green fade, and it gave a nice subdued look. Fortunately I got a little oil here, not a real big deal. That is just oil there, so nothing to worry about on any of this. Then I came back, I sanded the flats and hit it with bronze. So the bronze gave it a nice flat, and yeah, I took the time and went and hand sanded each one of the fluted ridges to give you that little hint of bronze in the fluting. Buffed the pocket clip. It did turn out just a little bit darker just because it's got that darker finish than the rest of the handle, and then bronzed it. But very cool looking knife. I really like that pocket clip. It's got a ceramic ball in there, which is cool because you can't see it from the top. Got a little bit of a shadow here in the bronze. This actually is just fingerprint stuff here, so that'll clean off there. And of course, your area around the pivot. These things flip like a champ. They are on bearing systems. The push button is very nice. Flips in with authority. That modified compound grind with the harpoon blade is just a wicked looking edge. Got some jimping up here. This one definitely will open with thumb studs, no problem. Thumb flick pretty easy. I'm not one that flips with my finger very much, but even there, you can get it with that finger flip. One thing I like about the other blade is he's got that fluting up here and the blade's filled out a little bit here. I can grab it with my finger and start it out as well. And I find that I just kind of play with it like that a little bit. Very, very cool looking knife. Really happy with the way this one turned out. Like I said, you got that nice purple into green with the bronze sanding. A little bit of shadowing in a couple spots on the bronze just to give it a little bit of extra texture, because you do have all that shadow effect in the fluting. So I figured it wouldn't be bad to let a little bit of it stick out in the flats. So very cool looking knife. I like that harpoon blade. Here is the spear point, and it's got a lot of extra milling through the blade. Now this one's pretty cool. This one's got purple hues to it. You've got the high voltage blue with purple hues. A little bit of shading is left in some of the fluting to give you that two-tone effect, and then sand it again and hit the high points with bronze. So this one does have some cool purple hue depending on what light you're in. Of course, as everybody knows, I have problems with showing purple in these videos. Pretty sure my pictures will turn out pretty good with it. As I was sanding it, I got a little bit of a... It's flat and all, but it shows the anodizing took a little funny. I think it's where it's... No, it's not even where it's drilled out. So, yeah, just got a weird spot. That'll probably clean off, so I'll have to take a look at that on the bronze there. But very, very cool looking knife. Really pleased with that. As you can see, lanyard goes through there really nicely. And these things flip like champs. Really happy with this. Thumb flip. Like I said, you can play around with that that milling in the blade and just grab it with your thumb. Very cool looking knife. Very happy with this one. I will definitely be using one of these as an EDC knife as we go along. The Tiebreaker has always been one of my favorites as far as elegance. Look how thick that blade is. Very thick blade stock on it. The milling goes in there quite a ways. Got your made in the USA, and this one is number 15. It is CPM S30V in the steel. And then of course you have your Brian and Tighe and Friends logo over there. So, nicely done. Centered up really nicely as well. Very cool knives. So that is the purple and blue with bronze. And then here is one crazy green with blue on the flats. So that one turned out really nice. Got a little bit of fingerprinting, a little oil in there. That blue is the lower voltage blue, so it does fingerprint some. But man, that blue and green combo is just a hit. It always looks so nice together. And with all the extra fluting on this knife, and the way it moves with the shadows, this one and the blue purple one have both been buffed first, with just a hint of the shadows left in the fluting to give it that extra texture and give it that rolling look. I mean, just look at how that thing changes with the light. Very, very cool knives. Of course, we did blue on the pocket clip, again, buffing it out. All set up around the pivot. I haven't done anything with the pivot. I don't know that I will, as far as the titanium around it, just because It is milled. You can see it's milled here. I don't want to buff things and change the lines. It's milled there. It actually locks right into the handle from the other side. So it's not something that I'm going to play with. Very, very small torque set on this. It's a 5. So very small on that. Do wish that was a little bit bigger just so you could use a beefier Torx screwdriver for that, but it is a 5. He does have a baffle system in here, so very nice design, running on bearings, and again, flips like a champ. So really happy with these. Wanted to get a quick video out on them just because I was so excited. Got these finished up today, back together. I'm hoping to have them up on the website tomorrow sometime, probably like tomorrow night, so you can check it out. Pricing on these is probably going to be at the 510 mark. A lot of work goes into taking these apart and getting them back together. Any of your integrals are crazy to get apart and back together, so takes a little extra time. Definitely takes knowing what you're doing. I definitely thank Dave for walking me through at the show how to do it. Still just kind of waiting to see how that auto turns out, because of course you're not only do you have the spring in the button lock, but you also have the spring that is deploying the blade on that one. So that one's going to be even more of a project to get it apart. But man, these knives are just awesome. Look at the milling in the back of these things. Great design. Everything's nice and uniform. I love the weight of this knife. Like I said, I will definitely be EDCing one of these very soon. Will it be one of these? I don't know. I want to get some of these up for sale, get some moving. I know Brian is planning on being out here in California for the Southern California Custom Knife Show here in October, so I want to have a couple of these sold by then, and definitely be picking up some more, if not then, before then, just because I'd like to be able to get a couple of these in his hand that I've actually worked on. Anodizing, for any of you that's seen his custom stuff, he is definitely a master when it comes to anodizing. He does some amazing colors, amazing patterns. I've been doing this for a couple years now, and looking at some of his stuff just blows me away. The levels, all the different levels of anodizing that he's putting into some of these customs that he does is just amazing. It's great. I'm so excited that he's got this mid-tech line that will get these fantastic knives into a few more people's hands. Not everybody can afford a 750, 800. If you get up into the Damasteel and some of his other handles, you're upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 and $3,000 depending on what you do. He makes some amazing stuff, and it's really cool that he's given the average Joe a better chance to get a hold of one of these. At the $500 price point, you really can't go wrong. Nice mid-tech, great machining. Very, very happy with these. Quality on these is great. Just can't say enough. The fact that I'll be EDCing one of these at some point pretty much says it all for me. I'm not going to carry something that I don't stand behind and I don't really like, especially when you get into the $500 mark. It's an expensive knife. I've got to really like it for me to be carrying it every day. My TIE Fighter has seen tons and tons of EDC use. Has held up beautifully. Of course, it is the custom version. These are the mid-techs. It'll be cool to get these in my pocket. Like I said, huge fan of the tiebreaker. Love it. Very elegant. This one with the beefier blade, beefier handle, makes it feel a little bit more substantial. And I personally like a heavier knife, so this definitely does it for me. The tiebreaker is quite a bit lighter just because it is all chamfered out, very lightweight, very elegant, very strong. I mean, it's not like it would fail or anything like that. I just like a heavier knife personally. So, very happy to have the opportunity to be carrying these. Let me know what you guys think of these as we get them moving. And thank you for tuning in. Like I said, these will be posted probably next week, or I'm sorry, probably tomorrow night. Check us out, www.jdcutlery.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.